Hello and welcome to the first video of 2021. I'm still around. Who would have guessed? Happy New Year to you all. I thought I would kind of jump on the bandwagon. Everyone's kind of doing their favorites for 2020. And I'll admit, I have not bought a whole lot of makeup last year. I probably have bought maybe like 20 items of makeup in 2020. It's a very minimal number for me as someone who loves makeup. But you know what? I just, like a lot of people probably, I just have not been wearing that much makeup. A lot of it's to do with the fact that I've been wearing masks. So as you can see, I actually don't have any makeup from here below because masks have become mandatory again indoors. So I just feel like there's no point except for a video to actually wear a full face of makeup. So I really only just focus on the eyes. I do more of a bold eye, and the rest it's very kind of non-existent. So I thought I would sort of discuss that type of thing today and maybe demonstrate to you a couple of my favorite products, most worn, used, loved makeup of 2020, because like I said, I haven't bought much makeup last year. So a lot of this stuff is actually old stuff because I've sort of fallen back in love with a lot of these products again. So let's start with concealer, because I'm gonna actually wear a bit of concealer right now because I feel like I need it. I look so tired. So I have been using the Hello Fab Bendy Avocado concealers from First Aid Beauty, and this is in shade 2.5 and 3. They're at Sephora, and I just love this concealer. I have dry skin, and especially the under eye area, it's a tricky area to get, you know, a concealer that doesn't make my skin look really crepey and, you know, like I've got super aged skin. So this is great because I feel like it covers the darkness and it's really easy to blend in, and it doesn't make that area look really dry. I just put it under my under eye area and dab it in with my finger. I've been really lazy lately. Not lately, actually just for a while now. I have been applying a lot of my makeup with just fingers, even eyeshadow, because I've gotten that sort of complacent with it all. And anyway, sometimes you kind of do get a better blend anyway, so you can sort of immediately see the difference. This section looks just way more brightened than the other. I have used this in the past and finished it, and this is a repurchase, so that says a lot, especially because I've tried a lot of concealers over the years and I just enjoy this one. I'm not sure how this would work on people with a bit more kind of oilier skin. But let me know if you've used this concealer and you really like it. These days I don't really put concealer everywhere. It's mostly under the eyes and then mask goes on, but I am gonna put a little bit around the nose where I get red. And then just cover some of those pimples, and I will use a brush for this sort of area. So yeah, I think that this is a really great concealer. I really enjoy it. I also do use the NARS one a lot, but I still actually prefer this one. I just feel like it's not as opaque, but it's just a bit more creamy, and I feel like the blend is better. I think that the NARS one can start looking a bit cakey if you add too much accidentally, so I feel like this is a lot more foolproof. So let's talk about foundation. Okay, it's not foundation, it's more like a tinted moisturizer these days. That's what I prefer. I prefer more natural finishes and lighter coverage because I like to kind of let my skin look like skin. I don't really like to cake it up as much as I used to back in the day. But like I mentioned actually this product in my last video. This is the Trini London BFF Serum De-Stress. I love this. I would definitely repurchase it. This is in the shade Binky. Again, it's one of those super easy to apply on the skin, you know, blend it in with fingers. I've taken this along in my bag at times and like not even had a mirror and just rubbed it in, and I knew that it was gonna look decent because it just blends in so easily, and I really like the look it gives to my skin. I just feel like it looks healthier but still like my skin. So I feel like the color match might be slightly a bit darker, but I think it matches my neck really well. And again, I think because I'm sort of getting older, not that old, but skincare in my makeup I feel like is something that I look for these days. I'm not going to be too dear about it because it's the end of the day and I'm just doing this to sort of demonstrate what it looks like on my skin. But there it is. Another product that I've really been enjoying this year, and I actually really love this brand, is Kosas. This is the Kosas Color and Light Cream. And as you can see, I have already used a significant portion of it. It is really creamy. When I put my finger into this for the first time, it was just extremely emollient, but I just love the look it gives to my skin, so I've been really liking it. And I think, again, it's one of those effortless products. Blends easily. I can just use my fingers, which is what I do. I never really thought I'd be one of those people that applies makeup with just my fingers, but look where we are now. It's so weird. But I've gotten that lazy. Although I think a lot of people I know, though, do actually use their fingers, because, you know, looking at after your brushes is a hassle sometimes. So this is the blush, which is a gorgeous orange color, and I love orange blushes. I think it goes so well with my complexion, and so I like to just add that all over the cheek, a little bit on the bridge of the nose, just to kind of give myself like a bit of a sun-kissed kind of look, and then yeah, sort of just underneath the highlight. But I think these two colors work so well together. And if I finish this, I would totally repurchase this. I'm not sure if you can see it that much, but it is quite natural, and that's what I like. If I was going out on a date night or something, or an event or whatever, if those things are things you're doing at the moment, I would probably add a bit more, like add a powder on top. But, you know, this is generally what I've been doing if I have been wearing a base. And I think it's beautiful. I'd definitely be tempted to pick up some other colors, but of course, because they are cream products, it's probably better just to finish up one than buy another, because, you know, they do go off a lot quicker. So I'm very cognizant of that, and that's why I don't tend not to have a ton of cream products in my own collection. On my eyes, so this is the only palette I bought for the entire year. I really can't think of any other palettes that I bought. Like, I was thinking about it the other day and I just couldn't think of any other ones. So I think this is the only palette I bought in 2020. And this is the Pat McGrath Celestial Divinity palette, which is what I'm wearing on my eyes today. I'm actually wearing a combination of these two shades. These two shades are my favorite. In fact, I feel like this palette is worth it just for these two shades, but I love the shimmers in here. I think the red is gorgeous. This cranberry kind of pink is gorgeous. This is a beautiful kind of blue purple duochrome, and these two together, like I'm wearing it right now. Let's add a bit more. Like, I'll add some of this green, and then I love adding that duochrome on top. I just think these two colors work so beautifully, and I literally just place it with my fingers because, like I said, lazy. So, and also, you know, you get kind of maximum impact when you apply them with your fingers, because it's like using a sponge tip applicator. Obviously, I've got stubby fingers, so in terms of precision, I don't get anything that a brush would give, but beautiful. So, love those two eyeshadows. I actually really enjoy this palette. It took me, though, 2 months to arrive to me from the Pat McGrath website. But yeah, I actually enjoy this palette. The only palette I bought this year, and it's been on my makeup desk, and I've been using it a lot. So I like it, and I'm happy that I've got it. I'm kind of one of those people that I'm a bit over having a lot of eyeshadow palettes because I've got so many, but who knows, maybe if in future I see a release that catches my eye, I might pick up something else. The other two palettes that I've been gravitating towards a lot are these two. This is my Viseart Warm Matte palette, which I've panned. I think I might have mentioned it at some point, but absolutely love this eyeshadow palette. These browns are just my absolute favorite. Love the oranges, the yellows. I have been wearing that a lot. And then my Melt Dark Matter Stack. This black is kind of like my favorite black in my entire collection. I really love it. It's the black I'm wearing now. It's the black I've been using pretty much every day. And I've been wearing a lot of black eyeshadow last year because you might have seen my video on wearing masks, but black is a great way to deepen an eyeshadow and make your eyes pop a bit more, because when you add a mask, I feel like your eyes kind of drown out, like your face kind of becomes, I don't know, I feel like you get lost in the mask. So I feel like the black makes your eyes stand out a bit more, and I've been wearing this black a lot. So basically what I would do is I would place some pops of color, and then I would add the black into the outer V's. So just with whatever brush you have, just to give it some depth. And then the brown from Viseart. Or I also like Unseen, which is this brown, and use it in the crease to kind of blend it. And like I said, this is sort of like end of the day makeup, so it's not looking as crisp as it was, but you sort of get the gist of what I'm talking about. So yeah, this is pretty much how I do my makeup when I'm wearing a mask. I like my eyes to be a little bit more bold than I would normally. So I have been really enjoying my Melt Dark Matter stack, and it's my favorite stack out of all the stacks they've released. It's super basic. It's got a beautiful red in it, which makes an excellent liner when you mix it with some Duraline. So these three palettes have been my most reached for palettes. I feel like I've neglected every single other palette in my collection, and I probably need to start rotating some of my palettes so that I don't keep looking like I've got the same eye makeup, because you've probably seen, you have definitely seen this eye makeup in past videos this last year. Okay, another most worn, loved is my Radiant Light, my Ambient powder in Radiant Light, and this is a repurchase because I used up one of these before. I think this is the perfect bronzy blush. I would have mentioned this in my swatching all my blushes video because I did a swatch on that, but this is sort of what I like to do. If I've already got cream blush on, sometimes I like to add a bit more powder blush if I am wanting to, you know, put more makeup on, because it just makes it sort of stand out a little bit more. And I think this is a beautiful color, so beautiful. And I love the Hourglass powders. If I've gone overboard, I just take my foundation brush and just buff it in. But yeah, beautiful, beautiful. I don't think there's anything more to say about this because you've seen it before. Okay, next thing I've been using a lot, which I didn't actually use a lot when I first got it, and this is the Infinity Glass from Linda Hallberg. I love a glossy, glassy looking skin. Because I have dry skin, I think I've always wanted to look like I don't have that. Like I have kind of young and dewy, beautiful skin. Because it's just a plain gloss, it looks great over the cheeks. So I sometimes like to just kind of add a little bit of this on top of here, and it just kind of gives that glossiness that I like. I mean, of course you can use lip glosses, but I don't actually have just a plain clear gloss, and this is that. So I really like it, and the longevity is there as well. As long as I don't touch my face, it's still on my face. I also like, if I wasn't wearing that much eyeshadow, I also like it sort of right above the crease, and that way it's not actually going to crease. Like, it's not, my glossiness isn't going to go everywhere. Like if I just put it above, you know, where my eyes, my natural eye creases are, that's where I found I really like this. So sometimes I might put, for example, a flush of color on the eyelid. For example, which is another product I love, Dragon from Lisa Eldridge. This shade is stunning as a lip color, as a cheek color, as a wash on the eye. Stunning. And honestly, I just like to use it as a stain. Although the color is beautiful, completely opaque, I like to actually add it on a bit more sheerer because I feel like I don't have to worry about reapplication. So this is literally how I just put it on my lips, just like smudge it in. And then again, if you wanted some on the cheeks, just to kind of have that continuity of color. I think it's really such a fresh, summery, youthful color on the cheeks. Kind of like you've been in the sun a little, and I haven't. So I need it. And then again, if you want to put some on the eyes, if I didn't have anything on eyes, add a bit of this, add some gloss on top. It looks so chic, I think. And like you look somewhat put together without too much effort. So this Lisa Eldridge lipstick, Dragon, is my lipstick of the year. Absolute favorite. She will restock this year, but I think she only said it will be spring in the UK. So it's still going to be a while. So I definitely recommend this color if you want to pick one up in her next release. It's amazing. It's beautiful. What else do I want to mention in my most worn? things. This is like my bag of makeup that I usually have on my desk, and not much changes in here. Okay, I will have to say Victory from Trini London has been one of my favorite eye creams. As you can see, I've used up almost half of it. And I did mention this in my review video. This is pretty much the only shade that I would consider repurchasing. The other ones are fine. Some of them are not nice at all. I like a bit of like shimmer on my eyelid. I just don't see a point to matte cream eyeshadows. I prefer to use a powder because I feel like the finish is a little bit cleaner, and you know, it's just not as, like, it's harder to blend a matte eyeshadow. I think shimmer's a little bit more forgiving when it comes to cream format. So this I've been using it a lot. Eyebrows. I'm a very simple eyebrow person. My eyebrow routine has not changed in like the past 2 years. Okay, so one of my most worn eyebrow products is this Suqqu eye palette. This is the Balancing Eye Quad. Well, it's more of a trio in moss green, and they have since redesigned the packaging so it doesn't look like this. This is the old packaging. But as you can see, I use this a lot. So I do the whole soap brow things, let it dry, and then I kind of fill it in with this. I mean, I won't say I have the best eyebrow game out there, because I think there are other people that like have a more intricate and much more polished eyebrow look than me. I just don't, but I think it works fine. Okay, something that I've been using a lot as well, and it looks disgusting because it's one of those things that mix cream products with powder, and I hate that, is the Kevyn contour book. I first started using this in my swatching my powder products video, I think. And I actually started pulling this out because I wanted to get more use out of it. And I've been using this sculpting product pretty much every day. So you can see that there is a little bit of wear in it. But I have to say, I just hate that there are creams in here. I mean, look at that. You can see the particles everywhere. It's disgusting. I hate that. Why do they do that? I just think it's stupid design. But the actual bronzer powder I like. Let's use a bit now because I don't think I've actually worn any today. But I like to define my jawline because I put on some lockdown weight, and I put weight on in the under here. So this kind of just gives a slimming effect without actually having to do any form of exercise or change my diet. It's funny because I've seen some friends and they're like, oh, you look great. I'm like, I just know how to sort of trick the eye. And this is one of those ways. So, you know, the power of makeup, it's amazing. Let's talk mascaras, because I don't think I ever really talked mascaras on my channel. I mean, I guess mascaras are kind of like a boring one and kind of subjective because everyone has different eyelashes. But I have short, sparse, like very fine lashes. And mascaras for me are really tricky because if I don't get a good mascara, it's just not gonna look good. I need a formula that can hold a curl, that can actually make my eyelashes look visible and, you know, look kind of like I've got normal lashes. So the lashes that, the mascara that I have been using and wearing in 2020, the only ones I've been using are the Heroine Volume and Curl Mascara, and then the Fairydrops mascara. Really like these. These are really solid mascaras. If you're in the same kind of position as me, where you've been unfortunate in the genetic pool of lashes, this is a good one. So obviously I've got some at the moment. I'm gonna recurl it and just add another, just a bit more. Let's add some of the volume and curl. Yeah, I just absolutely love this mascara. And I have been repurchasing again and again. For me, mascaras are kind of like, I never really want to try other mascaras because they're never gonna meet those standards. So those are the ones I've been using the most. What else can we talk about? I feel like I've got nothing interesting to add because I really honestly, those are probably my top products. Just goes to show my routine has become super minimal. I don't do crazy makeup these days. I feel like I've toned it down a lot, and maybe this year, I don't know if that's gonna change. How do you guys feel? Do you feel the same way? You know, I remember kind of like at the start of the pandemic, I remember people were telling me that, you know, they weren't wearing makeup anymore. They weren't, you know, sort of getting dressed anymore. And I don't know if like fast forward a year, less than a year, maybe like 9 months later, you know, how do you feel now? Do you feel like it's still not a priority? Makeup in a way, it's a creative outlet. It's also a coping mechanism and a way to just make yourself feel good. And so I definitely, you know, I don't think it's ever going to go. I just think that, you know, I've sort of not felt like wanting to kind of do that many crazy things with it anymore. I just want to just enjoy it and keep it easy breezy. And yeah, I think that's everything. I think that's all I have to share. It's not a whole ton. Like I said, I haven't been buying a lot of new makeup, so a lot of this stuff is old stuff and stuff that you can pretty much still get. I don't think any of them are limited edition except for the palettes, and the Lisa Eldridge lipstick is not in stock, but it will be restocked at some point. So yeah, let me know in the comments what your most used and your favorite makeup were in 2020 if you've been wearing makeup. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I am going to do a part 2, which is me showing my favorite most worn kind of fashion clothing items, because I feel like my style has evolved a lot in 2020, and that's probably what's changed the most. And where I've kind of had the most enjoyment from is actually getting dressed rather than necessarily putting face and makeup on. But if you want to see that, then stay tuned for it. It's going to either be on this channel or maybe I'll put it up on my Instagram, because that's where I tend to put a lot of my kind of fashion content. So anyway, I hope you guys are doing well wherever you are. Stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.